So 145, you've got the like his legs running up the steps kind of thing. And I feel like I'm now thinking, oh, it'd be really interesting. How many nods are there potentially to Rocky, right? Because like famous running up the steps in Philadelphia is a thing. But this is definitely like a variation of it because I mean, you just see his like bare legs and shoes.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't want to dive into too much, but is he considered the underdog? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like running up steps is a good. You're an athlete. You exercise. You know, running up steps, that's cardio. So,
I mean, for some people,
you
like
gotta
not
get
many.
that in.
Sure. How many times have you run up steps? Like probably not that much for cardio.
Or endurance or whatever.
I mean, there's like hills, running up like hills.
I mean, I don't think Rocky invented that, right? I would imagine
Rocky invented that, Angel. Rocky invented that. I'm gonna do a movie that I think could get me into Oscar contention, kind of movie. That's like, it kind of came off to me too. It's like I'm doing this to try and lean into the emotional role.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it.
How would you describe it?
Well, no, I mean, I guess first off, I'm like, do you enjoy watching movies starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
There's a number of them that I highly enjoy.
Which
ones? I've seen a lot. Dude, you're talking to somebody who saw Skyscraper in theaters.
All right. I mean,
I had Movie Pass, so you know that was my advantage. Yeah, I mean, naming the movies that I liked.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite, or I think
not
Dwayne Johnson's
ironic,
best.
not ironically favorite, but you know,
No,
like
no, not
really
ironically
like
favorite. I think the one that I think was The Rock's best movie is Central Intelligence, which is I feel like a highly underrated movie. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. It's like I think one of their first team ups, but Dwayne Johnson genuinely has some like solid character acting in it, and is really funny, and it plays off well, and the script's great. That I mean, you know, and then I'm a fan of the Jumanji movies, the remakes of them with
Kevin
Dwayne Johnson in that crew.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, we're talking about one with Emily Blunt. What was the one he did previously with Emily Blunt? Jungle Cruise, I think, which was like a Disney. Yeah. I did not see that one.
Yeah.
Admittedly, because it didn't look good.
I'm actually, I don't think I've seen a lot of his movies. You would think like, oh, I like action movies, you know, but I actually haven't seen Central Intelligence. I saw all the Fast and Furious ones that he's in.
And Hobbs.
I saw Hobbs and Shaw. I saw the spinoff for that.
I mean, one of his early ones, right? Wasn't it Get Smart with Steve Carell?
Oh yeah, never saw that.
It was. I mean, it was what the two. Okay,
I mean, that was more.
I am like apparently I'm an aficionado because I saw The Tooth Fairy, which was one of Dwayne Johnson's first movies where like you can tell he's learning to act in that movie.
Yeah. I never saw that. I saw The Rundown, which I feel like was one of his first like solo, like, hey, I'm going to be the new Arnold Schwarzenegger transition from, you know, my past role as a wrestler, though, you know, Arnold didn't do that, but you know, whatever, he came from bodybuilding, so he transitioned to be a huge movie star. And so like, I think that was like his coming out party for The Rock. But I saw that, but I didn't see Doom. Surprisingly, I have not seen a lot of his movies.
I saw Doom. Like, so what you're saying is I've just seen all of the movies that you haven't seen.
You were early me, or like you would see, and you would think I would have seen those movies. I don't know, but like, you know, he has charisma. I think you know he has a screen presence, but yeah, it's just a lot of this stuff is just like.
You see Black Adam?
I did not see Black Adam.
It was plagued by both reshoots and I think some negative press because he was very big on like, hey guys, I broke my my gate of my, you know, mansion because it wasn't opening so that I could come to set on time. And then congratulations, crew, you did a great job of going 18 hours. And people were like, crew don't want to go 18 hours. Like, just don't have them go 18 hours, do a 12-hour day. That's still a long day with overtime built in. Like, congratulating them on doing crazy days back to back to back is really them just like pushing themselves past where they should. And I think that sort of that and Black Adam was not a great movie. It was sort of like predictable at some point and very not caricature-y, but a little bit. I've got what the heck is it's got a cat trying to annoy me.
Yeah, I'm
But
going
yeah,
through his IMDb. Yeah, he's yeah, I'm trying to let's see. Rundown was in
seriously,
2000.
wait, we got to pause for 1 second. I have to like do something to my cat. I mean, not in a negative way. I'm not going to hurt my cat. I just you go through his IMDb. I know it well, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. What did you learn?
So his first movie roles was The Memory Returns in 2001. He played the Scorpion King.
Oh yeah, Scorpion King. Because then he did Scorpion King, right?
And
Wasn't
then they did a spin-off movie of just him. So
yeah?
that was like his first like starring.
That was the Conan the Barbarian. If we're doing an Arnold parallel.
Yeah, and then a year later he did The Rundown, which is a Peterberg action movie, and that was sort of like his, again, like I mentioned, coming out party. Then he's done like a bunch of other things. He's funny and be cool, though he's a supporting character. But yeah, like I've not seen Doom, not seen Southland Tales, Gridiron Gang, The Game Plan, and I love football movies for some reason. Race to Witch Mountain.
I saw
He's
Race
doing
to
a
Witch
lot of these.
Mountain. Not good.
He had a stint of doing these like kiddie movies,
Yeah, like Disney
family
movie
friendly.
style thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Tooth Fairy, You Again. Oh, that's an uncredited role. Okay, then he gets into the action roles. Faster, never saw it. Saw Fast Five, never saw Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Saw it. Not good. I think I've seen all the ones you didn't see.
Snitch, never saw. G.I. Joe Retaliation, I saw that one.
But that one was
Not
kind of
great.
forgettable. I think all the G.I. Joes kind of unfortunately were forgettable. They were like, oh, cool, G.I. Joe. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Empire State, man, Pain and Gain. He's pretty good in Pain and Gain, the Michael Bay, Mark Wahlberg movie. It's based on a true story, but just super like obviously embellished. Um, Again, Fast and Furious movies. He did Hercules. Never saw that. So yeah, San Andreas. Then he had this like string of movies like San Andreas,
Hmm.
Rampage, which I had sort of
Oh
mild
my.
interest, but then
Did you
like
see Rampage? I saw Rampage. Did you
no,
see it?
no, it's like no,
It
I wanted
is.
to, but then I was like, oh, this doesn't look good.
I mean, it's also a
Uh,
movie based on a arcade
Video
game where
game. Yeah.
literally you just go and you punch buildings when you're an animal.
Yeah,
It's
and
yeah,
like
it was
this.
just like a not good variation on like almost King Kong versus whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been done better. Again, I never saw it. Skyscraper. So you just had like these. I mean, he had that in the same year. Skyscraper and Rampage. Jumanji's fun. The next level. The
Yeah,
first
I think
one
I
of
had
them.
a lot of fun in those. I own I think both 1 and 2.
I can't remember if I saw the second one, but yeah, that was fun. Red Notice. I fell asleep. That's a
Oh
Netflix
god, Red Nose
movie.
was so bad. Oh my god, was so bad. I don't like. But then again, well, it's a different tangent. But yeah,
And then Red One. Not great.
saw it.
That's we
Was
talked
not.
about
I
that in
thought
the past.
it was actually better than I thought it was going to be, but not. Yes.
It's forgettable. But yeah, like yes, it's surprising I have not seen a lot of his movies, and again, like he's basically playing the same kind of character throughout, and with some nuances, like you mentioned, Central Intelligence. I've heard that like in from the trailer, he does sort of play like it's a little bit different. Pain and Gain, he's sort of a different character in there as well. It's a little bit darker and edgier, but he has that charisma, and there's something about him to watch.
Yeah, I think when it's a good role, I think it leans into him. Though I do think it's interesting his role choice. I think he's trying to jump around in different ways, and I think Batista has done a good job of finding sort of comedic roles that are his thing. Well, that
Yeah, sort of.
that Dwayne
Yeah.
Johnson, I think, is like trying to be, like whatever, a media mogul if it was for acting.
Mhm.
Produce and executive produce and star and be the box office instead of
Mhm.
sort of like finding where he fits in really well. And I think it's been hit or miss for him.
Yeah, and I think this is sort of like his attempt to like, all right, start branching out. But then like I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, what other actors have started trying to do like they had a shtick and they were like just doing the same kind of thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
what movie in their like filmography kind of like, all right, maybe they're gonna try something different. Some people that I had jotted down kind of thought of like Adam Sandler. He's the comedy
Oh yeah.
guy. He's just
No,
all
I mean,
just the same kind of comedies. We've talked about him in the past, like
mhm.
same kind of films. But then did I think it was in 2002, Punch Drunk Love from
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
PTA. His first like serious dramatic role, and that was like something
Hmm.
different.
And that did take a turn with him because he's done Hustle, which was great. I mean, he's done a number
Hmm.
of these kind of serious roles for sure.
Yeah. A couple others that kind of like stuck out, like Robert De Niro. He's always played this like serious, dramatic person. Taking on these serious, dramatic roles. He did do a comedy in the '80s called The King of Comedies, Scorsese movie. It's more of a black, dark comedy, so to speak.
Hmm.
I've never
Hmm.
seen it, but when he did Analyze This, that was like completely different. And his like, I feel like his like real first foray into doing comedy. So like that
Yeah,
was a change, and that sort of like led him down the path of like, all right, let me do other things like this, lighthearted stuff like Meet the Parents, which was funny, and then it kind
yeah, yeah, yeah.
of got redundant, and then he's done
I think they're
other
doing
like
another
silly
one
stuff.
right now. There's like another
Yeah.
sequel filming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're gonna do another one though. And then Robin Williams, similar to like Adam Sandler, he's done a lot of comedy though. Like he kind of has done dramatic roles earlier in his
I
career,
mean,
but
Good
like,
Morning Vietnam is
yeah,
like a mix of comedy and yeah, yeah, yeah. Which he sometimes comes back to because I feel like we'll go ahead with him and then I want to ask you a question on one.
yeah. Well, yeah. Robin Williams maybe like less like this because yeah, he's done Good Will Hunting. He's done what's the one Dead Poet Society. But
Hmm.
I guess this is more of like the darker version of it, where like he did 1 Hour Photo. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And same
Super
thing with
creepy.
Insomnia. He's playing the villain there, so kind
Mhm.
of
I mean,
very
and do you
different.
remember Death to Smoochie?
Yes, dark comedy.
Because
Yeah, that was
super dark.
weird.
I mean, he played a like a children's host who threatened to like burn himself alive because he was trying to gain his like popularity back.
Yeah.
And you have, I mean, Jim Carrey in what
Oh
was it
yeah.
Man on the Moon? Right? Was that
Oh yeah.
and then wait, didn't Will
Truman
Ferrell?
Show.
What was Will Ferrell? He had one too, I think.
Oh, true. Will Ferrell.
Wait. Oh my God.
Something about
Stranger Than
Stranger
Fiction
Than
was kind
Fiction.
of, and I thought it was, I love that movie. That is one of my like top 20 movies and highly underrated.
Oh wow, I haven't.
I've seen
I
it. I've
can't
probably
remember
seen
it.
it like half a dozen times.
Oh wow. I have to look at that again. I don't really remember it, but I don't think I really. It didn't really land with me from what
I
I
mean, it's
remember.
it's got a great cast too.
I remember liking the trailer. I think when it came out, like I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, if you haven't seen
I
it,
think
I,
I
I
did. I
recommend it.
did see it in theaters. I
Oh, okay.
just didn't land with me. But yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of comedian actors, like comedy actors, like definitely have like they'll do
Well,
something edgy or dark.
yeah,
But yeah, Jim Carrey's a good call out as well because he definitely with Man on the Moon, Truman Show was a comedy, but like more of a
yeah. Oh, yeah.
serious, and then some other roles too. I can't think of off the top of my
He
head.
did that weird one that was where he goes crazy and it's like a horror movie and he like writes on his
Oh,
face numbers or
oh yeah,
something.
yeah. That was like yeah, I remember that. Number 8, is it or something like
Yeah, it
that? Yeah.
sounds familiar, but yeah. Why don't we transition into introducing our trailer because I think this is going to be a big thing we're going to talk about and how they present it. So welcome to Trailer Teardowns. I'm one of your co-hosts, Evan Bass Zeisel, joined by Angel Acevedo, and today we're discussing the trailer for The Smashing Machine. For some reason, it makes me want to say The Smashing Game. I don't know why, but The Smashing Machine, which is the additional name, I believe, derivating from a Portuguese group chanting his name or like a moniker for him after a competition for the UFC fighter Mike Kerr.
Mark.
Mark, oh man, I didn't get any sleep. How about you? For Mark Kerr, yes.
Mark Hurt. Oh yeah, I meant to look up to see like what the title referred to. And
There's a great little documentary called "What the Heck Happened to Mark Kerr" by Athlete Central that's online that does a bit of a like deep dive on him that was really interesting. And at one point they talk about I think wherever he was doing like a fight, just because he was so huge and destroying everybody that they started chanting something in Portuguese that translated to like the Smashing Machine or something like that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't like wanted to. I haven't. I've kind of avoided like diving into sort of like the history of this person, just because I want to kind of go in like blind. Obviously, it's out there, but like
Yeah.
I don't know it, so I kind of want to go in like blind, and who knows what happens to him in the movie and all of that. So, oh yeah, so the movie, Smashing Machine, is written and directed by Benny Safdie. He is a co-director of Uncut Gems, Good Time, Daddy Longlegs, and a bunch of shorts with his brother, Josh Safdie. This is his first solo directorial effort. And his brother is going solo this year as well with another film called Marty Supreme, starring Timothy Chalamet. So maybe we'll tear down that trailer later on. So this movie stars Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and it's coming out October 3rd. What are your thoughts on UFC? Do you watch? Have you watched?
Um, I I was an old school WWF, like Worldwide Wrestling, not World Wildlife Federation.
Yeah.
A fan. So I used to watch that a lot in my youth and was a big fan. Just I thought it was a lot of fun and the pageantry of it. I think I may have liked the pageantry and knowing that it was fake a bit more than the UFC side of things, which is just two people pummeling themselves with every, body part. Um, I think it is, I think, fascinating at some level with, I can't remember the name of the brothers who like are known for their submission holds where, they don't really beat people up. They just get them to tap out because they've got like, they just need them in the right position and then boom, you know, it's too painful or they can do something. So they tap out that one's more strategy. I'm not the biggest fan of people beating each other up. I feel like we have enough of that in life that we we should love each other. But I think so. Like the sports history of things, I think is really interesting. But I don't really watch boxing. I don't watch UFC. That said, I literally have a Muhammad Ali Frazier fight of the century autographed photo like on my wall. So I like the art of it. But yeah, I'm not a go to a UFC fight for fun kind of person. I feel bad that people are beating each other up for money. What about you?
I I'm kind of indifferent. I've never been to a match. I maybe have caught some of a fight on TV. Maybe it was because like, oh, it's highly touted, like, oh, these people, but like I'm not against it. I don't know. It's just a sport, I guess, in a way. It
Well,
kind
but
of goes back
what
to like,
makes a sport? I guess the question, like, boxing. Okay, so it's got certain rules, and then you got UFC. But like, cool. So if we now start adding in like somebody's got a bat versus somebody else has a bat, but we're calling it a sport, like, is that now a sport? You know what I mean?
what are they doing with the bat? Hitting each other?
Like beating the crap out of each other instead of just, well, like boxing is just the hands and not have to be above the belt. And then UFC is like any area and you can use any part of your body. So it's kind of like,
I
tie
don't know all the
or,
rules. I don't know all the rules. Like, can you bite in UFC?
there's no biting. Yeah. Okay. But what
Okay.
if you were allowed to like, yeah, bite? I don't think you can
Well,
bite
then that's
and you
just a
might not. Yeah.
different. I don't know. I think it's almost like rugby is a variation of football without
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
pads
whoa!
and stuff,
Football's
and
probably a variation on rugby,
or
and rugby has a lot
whatever
of
it is.
rules. And
Well,
I
so does
stand by
football.
rugby. I stand by
American football.
rugby.
That is. I mean,
Yes.
I think there's a lot of similarities. They don't wear helmets, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's. I mean, it's interesting that this form of entertainment exists, and
hmm
because it
I mean,
kind
we
of
used to have the
dates back,
gladiators. Like,
knights, and when medieval
hmm
times you had people jousting and sword fighting, and so it's like almost the same
yeah.
in a way.
No, no, yeah. I don't disagree. Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it's sort of this human condition thing of like there's a certain level, like if you take Olympics as an example, the Olympics are really how much can the body be pushed to do either a very precise thing or a very fast thing. And at some level, a lot of these fighting ones are like, how much can a body take? Right? Or give out or protect itself and, take at the same time. I mean, that's sort of like, I mean, I love Rocky. And that is almost entirely a like, how much can you take? It's like, he's like a piece of metal, and you just keep hitting him, nothing happens.
Yeah.
You've cut him, Rocky. You've cut him. He bleeds. Uh, there's something guttural in that.
Hmm.
Just for me, the UFC just gets a little bit sometimes too bloody for what I can handle. That I just feel bad. I feel bad, like, and I feel like that's
But it's not
what's
like they're being. But the thing is, you feel bad. I mean, why do you feel bad? I mean, they. It's not they volunteered or it's they chose. It's not like we're in some dystopian world where like, okay, this dictator has put these two people to fight, and then one of them, whoever lives, gets to gain their
well,
freedom.
okay. I think choice is a relative thing. I think, if you are somebody who's learned because of your size or your speed or whatever, you can inflict damage on somebody else. And there is a capitalistic venue that we have created that allows you to make more money than you would somewhere else where you would make a lot less money. You're sort of pushed to that. Do these people who have to take a lot of drugs to keep going because their bodies are falling apart on them, or the boxers who get Parkinson's from being hit on the head, like, do they really want that? Is that what they chose? Or this was a route that had the most opportunities for them and therefore they couldn't turn it down? That if there was another route and they could make the same amount of money, would they still do this? Like, I feel like, we'll talk about this
That's
trailer,
a
but I feel
question.
like,
That's a question for
yeah,
them, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, I feel like one of the things this movie will probably highlight is the insane things that they put themselves through. Even WWF, where they're faking the matches, people still get real injured, and they train a lot and have to deal with a lot of painkillers because of the
mhm.
amount that they're doing. It's kind of like, you know,
It's a
uh,
physical. It's a physical form of entertainment. It's just almost.
yeah,
You could even say the same thing for like professional sports too. It's not
yeah,
like
no,
these
no,
people walk
professional
away.
sports, or even Broadway. Like, on if you're performing on Broadway, you're doing 8 shows a week,
Hmm.
and you have Monday night is usually a dark night, so you're doing 2 shows on Saturday, 2 shows on Sunday, and then
Hmm.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and most of them, uh, like, you just get exhausted. I mean, I don't know if you remember when Jeremy Piven was on Broadway for a minute, Speed the Plow, and then he, early in the run, somehow came down with mercury poisoning because he had too much sushi in a row. And,
Wasn't it
like,
because like he wasn't the that was like the reason, but like wasn't it because like oh he wasn't good in it or in the
no,
role? Like
it's
what?
just exhausting. It's just like exhausting. I mean,
Oh well, why couldn't they
what's
just
what's
say
his
oh
name?
he's
What's his name?
exhausted
No, because you
and
can't do that because no real actor would admit that. Like, I
got it?
mean, what's his name is Howard. Who's the one who was an Iron Man and got replaced?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard did Broadway and left and was like, "That is tantamount to slavery." I believe was his, like, almost exact quote.
Wow.
Like, I mean, he's a little bit crazy, and he has a thing where a thesis or something where he argues that 1+1 does not equal 2. Like, it's I don't know, it's
That's
out there.
why you are out of the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a hard thing. It's, there's just so many injuries, but I think it's choice versus not choice is a very interesting question. I think that could be a really cool movie.
I feel like I'm trying to think if there have been like sports movies that have addressed that.
Any
I'm
Given
trying to
Sunday,
think.
your favorite football movie, Angel, right? You
I
have the
want to
guy
say
giving coach, "Come on,
like
coach, you
Million
got to put
Dollar
me in."
Baby.
Yep,
Million
million
Dollar
dollar.
Bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like I want to say like maybe that's addressed in there or some but no, it's an interesting sort of point of discussion. Whether this is choice, but yeah. All right, cool. So we dive into it.
Yeah.
What stood out on the trailer for you? And we're
So
looking
to
at the first trailer that came out a few months ago. This has been sitting on our list. This came out 4 months ago, so we're finally tearing it down. So yeah, what do you think?
I thought it was interesting. It felt very much like, our opening discussion, that this is Dwayne Johnson going for, like, an Oscar nod kind of thing, and that and to do that, it was trying to highlight his emotional moments. And I thought the big thing that jumped out to me was the style in which they edited this trailer. And maybe it's similar with the film. I don't know if you agree, but it felt like it was trying to be a documentary. Like it was cut like a documentary, like I think it's also with the camera angles and everything, but it's like, oh, you're seeing behind the moments. You're seeing him when he's crying. You're seeing him here, like the sort of the documentary moments where it's like we get to see behind the scenes of this person that like it is almost could have been pitched as like a Mark Kerr documentary, but then it's a reenactment in a way. Like the way it just felt with the camera angles and everything, but also it was a 2.5 minute long trailer and we got a lot of the same kind of emotional things again and again that it reminded me of when Natalie Portman did Jackie O. And it was just like, to me, a little bit hit over the head of like, this person's emotional and you have to care about them kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But because of the style in which it was filmed and in this case, the trailer, it just came off like, like a reality kind of style of presentation.
Mm-hmm. I really liked how, and then this is more a credit to the film because this is it's the content of the film, but like how like the rawness and feel of the film, very similar. I got this it feels very documentary like with its handheld cinematography. There's small zooms that go in and out slow. They did shoot on film. They shot on 16 millimeter, which will look great. It has a grainier feel and a softer look. So, and 16 millimeter back in the day was kind of like a go-to format for documentary filmmakers before video. It was cheaper than shooting 35. So they shot this on 16. And overall, I thought it looks real. I like the look of it. It definitely it makes it feel like it's from, I'm assuming this is the mid 90s, the time period. I don't know the history of the UFC. So yeah, I got that feel. And so that's the feel of the movie itself. They definitely and you can, a lot of the people featured in the trailer feel like some of the other fighters and maybe trainers. I'm pretty sure they are real fighters and they have this. And this is not negative. I don't mean this as a slight to them. They're not professional actors by trade. They're just more like, oh, we're going non-actors, and you could sort of see that. And I feel like that helps fill out the world and the setting of it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the look of that, and I actually like the way they present. I didn't feel that they were just banging over the same emotional beats. I feel like it covered a wide range. I felt like the trailer had a nice arc to it. You see him friendly in the beginning, him being the Dwayne Johnson. You see him friendly, you see him involved, you see him in his environment, the character's environment, being in the ring and walking up to the ring. He's very confident. But then you see these moments where he's annoyed, like, oh, they only have Advil, like that's the strongest kind of pain medicine they have. He's kind of like sarcastic there. But then obviously there's these more emotional moments where something's happened to him, or like he's lost a fight, or he's injured or something, and he's having these fights with his wife or girlfriend. I'm not sure what the relationship is. So yeah, I didn't think it was like too hammering. I think they did a nice balance to it, and like using that song from Elvis Presley, My Way, I think was a nice cue to use throughout. And I felt like, if anything, like I wonder if the movie takes place over a number of years, because he looks different throughout the movie. The way he looks.
Yeah, transition and evolution.
Yeah, it evolves throughout. So like he's with hair, he's without hair, he's with a goatee, and just speaking about his look, like other than like his hulking frame, Dwayne Johnson looks almost indiscernible, with the makeup and hair. Like I remember showing this to Beth, and she's like, it took her a while. She's like, who is that? Is that The Rock? So I was like, yeah, it worked. There are some shots where like he's like doing like these like lifts and he's wearing
Mm-hmm,
like a
mm-hmm.
beanie, it doesn't look like him. Like he's like
Yeah,
doing this
yeah, yeah.
lift
No,
and
no, no. I know that
his
exact shot.
face
Yeah.
scrunches and it's like that's not him. So he looks good, and I think that that makeup probably helps him to kind of like get into the character and do that. But yeah, that's more talking about the film. But yeah, I in terms of like the way the trailer's edited and put together with the music, and you know, it's not sort of over the top, and I think it works in this presentation, and you know, I think it kind of leaves. I mean, I think you either get people that are like, "Oh, I'm excited to see this story," or "I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited to see The Rock do this," or people who are just like, you know, I don't care about UFC, and I don't care about The Rock, so I'm not interested. So
Well, and I'm curious if they leaned a little bit into the style of Rocky trailers. Like, at 28, they've got sort of that yellow font as a title card, before it was a worldwide phenomena. And it's very like vintage kind of look, like on purpose, but it's not, the standard Stranger Things kind of stylized that we're used to. It's more like E.T., or I feel like Rocky had a yellow on black a little bit. That might be kind of leaning into that. I did think, I feel like this trailer could have been 2 minutes and they could cut some of the stuff that was like other dudes dancing around in a gym, or I don't know. Like it felt kind of long to me. But the other thing, and maybe this is just a bias, I am a big fan of Emily Blunt, and I feel like they sort of like touched on her character, but you don't really get to see anything from her character other than the one sort of big emotional moment where she's got a tear coming down her eye as she's taking a picture in whatever training gym area. And you got, I don't know, it just, and maybe I just have a bias, a dissociation from this, but like I didn't feel emotionally pulled into this like I should. Like there's something with the beats of the trailer or the way it was presented, or maybe the acting, that just like this should pull on my heartstrings, right? Like he's in a hospital at one point, and like his best friend's helping him out. He's about to go fight at the end of this. They talk about him fighting his best friend or one of his close friends for a lot of money. I'm assuming only one of them gets the money. Like it should be something where I'm like, oh man, I feel for this guy. But there's something with the rhythm or the flow of it. I kind of left being like, huh. And I'm not sure what to put my finger on, Like, did you feel emotionally pulled in as it went?
I did, and I think those elements of that progression of, you know, it doesn't have this sort of cliche structure. I feel like other trailers would have. I feel like of like maybe a sports uplifting movie, and I don't know if this
Mm-hmm.
ends in an uplifting way, but it doesn't have that sort of cliche structure of like, let's start with a flashback and see the main guy as a child boxing with his dad or something, and then flash forward, you see a snippet of a first fight, he's successful, and then oh, he meets the girl. Like it's all sort of like we're dived into the middle of it all, kind of like,
What
and
was it?
we're
What was that?
just seeing.
What was that? Steve Carell, Mark Ruffalo. This would be Steve Carell's serious movie, right?
Oh
Or his
yeah,
first big one, the wrestling one, which ended, very dark. We won't spoil it, but based on a true
yeah,
story of the the wrestling camp.
yeah.
But that one, I mean, I don't know. That one feels kind of similar to this in a slight way, except, and I think Steve Carell had some prosthetics for that as well. Like, yeah,
Foxcatcher.
yeah, Foxcatcher. But then again, it's interesting because it's the heartstrings things related to UFC, which is a very kind of like macho thing. I mean, the UFC people are similar to the WWF or WCW now, whatever it's considered, it got modified to. Um, you know, Politically on a very particular perspective, and also leaning sort of into the like very masculine, stereotypical kind of feel that this plays against that, which I'll give it credit to, where you've got all these bloodied people, and then it's about this guy who's having a hard time and trying to make it up, back. what do you think about so when they add moments like what is it? I think it's 38 second. No, not 38. Where is it? 37 second in. Right. You got that line. It's Emily Blunt's on top of Dwayne Johnson, and he's like, she has the line something like, is this good enough for you? He's like, no, deeper. You can go deeper, or something like that, which is clearly trying to sort of show the sexual tension that exists. I thought it was like a amusing line, but I wasn't feeling the sexual tension that I feel like I don't know it should be there. Like if for this type of movie, it should pull you in. You know which moment I'm talking. I think it's 37 seconds
Yeah.
in, but then it goes right into her like blending up a protein shake or something.
It didn't bother me. I mean, I think obviously they have a close relationship. I don't, again, like she wants to take care of him. I mean, see, right after you said like she's making the shake for him and helping him stretch, and obviously, they're being close, and there's obviously sexual tension there, and didn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
curious.
think I think that's there to show that they have this sort of relationship.
Do you think so? I got a question on how this trailer came off to you. Do you think this movie is like we're gonna have Dwayne Johnson in 99% of the scenes because of this, or do you think there will be like we'll have a scene with the wife or girlfriend, we'll have a scene with somebody else where you see a little bit more of the world, or I mean, maybe that's where it's felt a bit too documentary to me, where it's just following him, and so you don't
Mm-hmm.
see these other sides. Um, that's the thing I think that maybe came off a little to me that I'm like, oh, I feel like we then are gonna lose some of this sort of B story arcs or some of the feels in that way.
Based on the title, and I think I would imagine he's going to be in this movie 99%
Yeah,
of the time. It's following him and his relationship with his trainers, the people he's fighting, his friends, his wife, his girlfriend. Again, don't know the relationship there, but um yeah, it has this sort of documentary feel and to it, and I don't think there'll be like, oh, we're cutting to this B storyline of like the UFC, founders, like, oh, we got to make some money off this guy. How do we do that? And like, let's make up a contract for him. I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that kind of like
yeah, yeah.
scope
It's
of a
not like a
movie.
Don King kind of come in type movie.
Yeah. I think it's he's trying to find his way in this new sport, and just like how he gets through it, and what he has to go through, and all of that. So
Yeah. Any other like specific thoughts on this one?
no, no, not much. Yeah, I think I mentioned before. I think the makeup looks great. I think he's definitely he's hidden. And I'm not to say like, oh, great makeup's gonna win you role or win you Oscars and do things, but like he is. I
But
feel like
Nicole
he
Kidman
is a
in The Hours put on a prosthetic nose, and she won the Oscar.
yeah.
And
What was it? Charlize Theron. She dirtied up and wore makeup
yep,
too, and looked, it,
monster.
you know, yeah. But I mean, I feel you're an actor,
Yep.
like I feel like that's sort of a thing, a tool you use to get into character and
Oh yeah. Oh
helps
yeah.
you either if it's because it gives you more confidence to like be able to do something like that.
And you can and
Um,
not hide behind it, but it allows you to sort of add the layers on. I think at some
yeah.
level too.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 No, definitely.
But yeah, I think that so I'm curious to see how people respond to this movie.
Okay, so we didn't talk about this, and I didn't analyze it in this, but I want to throw it in real quick. So 145, you've got the like his legs running up the steps kind of thing, and I feel
Hmm.
like I'm now thinking, oh, it'd be really interesting. How many nods are there potentially to Rocky, right? Because like famous, running up the steps in Philadelphia is a thing, but this is definitely
Hmm.
like a variation of it because I mean, you just see his like bare legs and shoes.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't want to dive into too much, but is
No.
he considered the underdog? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
running up steps is a good. You're an athlete. You exercise. running up steps, that's a cardio. So
I
I
mean,
think
for
that's just
some
like
people,
you
like
got to
not
get that
many.
in.
Sure. How many times have you run up steps? Uh, like probably not that much for cardio. I
But like, well, I mean, or
mean, there's like
endurance or
hills
whatever.
running
But
up like hills.
I mean, I don't think Rocky invented that, right? I would imagine that's a
Rocky
bit.
invented that, Angel. Rocky invented that.
I
No, it's no. I think it's a
imagine.
boxer thing. It's probably a boxer fighter
Yeah,
thing for
well,
sure.
and
Yeah.
this too. It's like you want to keep. I don't know. Again, I'm not a physical fitness specimen or a trainer. I am
I will.
so
I
out of
will
shape.
give
So, but
you.
I feel like that's a thing. You know, these kind of athletes do. Hell,
I'm
you
gonna.
see coaches at like when they go to football games before they're running up and down the stands to get workouts in. Whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's football players. I will give you. Okay, I have a great crossover. So Central Park knowledge. Central Park, the reservoir, used to be really run down until a immigrant moved to New York and was training to be a boxer. His name was Alberto Arroyo, and he used to run around the reservoir in Central Park, and then somehow befriended Jackie O. We got our nod to Natalie Portman as Jackie O now, and boxers. Befriended Jackie O, and they used to like walk/jog around the reservoir together, and that led to her pushing for a beautification of like the Central Park Reservoir. And then later, he was given an honorary, not degree, but like an honorary award of being called the mayor of Central Park.
Mm.
And then he used to just hang out at the res with a sign, like a little badge, and later on in his life.
This sounds familiar. The name.
It
And
was also
sort
it
of
was
that idea of someone running
it
around.
was it was also in one of the like Faces of New York books as well.
Mm.
But I used to run around the res when I was training, and we'd see him all the time, and we'd yell mayor, and he'd like wave to us.
Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. I'll jump into some YouTube comments. I have a bunch here. We'll edit out some if it gets too long. But overall, the consensus: a lot of people excited to see Dwayne doing something different and all of that. So there's a lot of references to that. But here's some that kind of like caught my eye. Looks like he's finally not just playing The Rock, and I absolutely love that. I don't give a crap about UFC, but I'll watch this. All right, there you go. See, there's one of those people that are like, hey, they don't care about UFC, but the story looks intriguing and whatnot. So,
Yep, yeah.
okay, and that also there was a surprisingly number of comments regarding his hair, comments about his hair. In the trailer. So
The fact that he has them.
yeah. So it's good to see The Rock with hair again.
Okay,
When's the
with a wig. I mean, it's good job. Good wig job. Good wig job.
Yeah. So I guess I never followed wrestling, and when he was, I was never into
Always,
wrestling, and I
yeah.
know he was like huge star in wrestling, and he had hair at the time. I've seen images.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
him
When he
in
was
video.
young, he had hair. He was not born bald.
That's right. Here's another comment regarding the hair. The Rock having hair makes this borderline a horror film.
There is a little weird thing about it. I don't know. There is. I don't disagree that the hair looks like it flows a little bit interestingly.
The last shot of the trailer, well, no, actually, sorry, it's not the last shot, but it's like, and he doesn't have hair in it, but like he's like obviously like he's in the ring. It's like this medium close up shot of him in the ring, and he's like sweating. It's at 2 minutes 13 seconds. He has a goatee, no hair, but like he looks very different there. Like, and that The Rock is bald too, normally, and he just looks the eyebrows. I guess.
Well, you get the eyebrows, the nose, the
Yeah.
chin. I think
Yeah. He just looks scary, right?
that looks like something.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Here's another one. We got an Oscar nominated The Rock before GTA 6.
I mean, I hope he's not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Do you
see
get
how
the
this goes.
reference?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
get the reference?
For Grand Theft Auto, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not completely a noob.
Oh well, apparently. Well, here's the thing. I've never played GTA, but I've hear about it, and the newest sequel or version has taken forever to come out, and that's like the running joke. Like, oh, we got this before GTA 6, and I thought, here's one of those jokes.
We'll see. We'll see if he gets Oscar nominated.
I mean, this still doesn't have the game. I mean, that's true. That's presumptive, but again, yeah.
I mean,
It's very possible.
I definitely think this is him trying to get an Oscar for sure. This is his like, I like this story and I'm gonna buy this story and I'm gonna be amazing in this story and I'm gonna get an Oscar because of this story.
Yeah. And the last one. I don't know what's weirder. The Rock in a movie using fake hair or not acting like The Rock.
I mean, I think he's done other movies where he's not acting like The Rock. I mean, it
What's
depends.
weirder?
I mean, the Rock is more of a leading man. Let's see. The jury's still out on this. You are convinced more than I was about this trailer.
Okay, cool. So, what's your verdict? What are you
Oh,
doing
I
on
have to go
this?
first. I'm going first.
You're going first.
I you're gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna go with at the moment. I'm between if nothing else on and stream it. I'm probably in the if nothing else on bucket. And I'm a big Emily Blunt fan.
Why is that? Just are you just
It
not?
just doesn't like I'm not a big UFC fan, and
Mm-hmm.
this trailer didn't do it for me. This
Mm-hmm.
trailer didn't convince me that it's gonna be acted well and that it's going to be a good movie. It might be, but this trailer didn't do it for me.
You'd probably prefer to watch the real documentary.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely. Yeah. If there was I mean, I
Yeah,
watched I watched a 25-minute documentary on
okay.
Mark Kerr
Yeah.
for this just because it was
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if some of the things that they talked about, which are very dark, will come
Mm-hmm.
in. But yeah, I mean, it's similarly when Muhammad Ali, when Will Smith played Ali, I saw that it was it's a good movie. Actual documentaries about Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier or Muhammad Ali and other aspects of it are fascinating documentaries, and
Mm-hmm.
to me they were more interesting because
Yeah.
they're unpredictable and they're not I want to say Hollywood scripted, but they're not scripted for a story arc. They are taken from what's actually happening.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, obviously doing a adaptation or fictionalizing, not fictionalizing,
Yeah, yeah, but it's a biopic,
adapting
except
a
for but it's
biopic,
yeah, yeah.
there's only so much you can put into that movie, and that will cover that. So that's always a challenge. And even then, even sometimes documentaries they leave things out too. So
Oh yeah,
I
well, and
guess,
there's
and
we
that's
talked about Aretha Franklin and respect and how the some of her family didn't want certain things in there, so it wasn't in there. And I'm sure the Freddie Mercury one included things that people who had access to his estate wouldn't allow them to use, and so now
yeah,
you're essentially getting a censored story.
yeah.
And not that it doesn't happen in documentary, but you have more like, I don't know, aha moments. Not
Mm-hmm.
aha, got you, but like, ooh, those are unexpected because it was just caught on film. All right, what about you?
I'm there. I'm intrigued. I want to. I'd see it in theaters. I've not seen a lot of the Safdie brothers movies, and this is
Hmm.
only one of the Safdie brothers. But I'm intrigued. I like sports biopics over more than like music biopics. I don't know if we talked about this before. I think it was with Patrick. We did an episode and
Mm.
that came up in discussion. But I'm more into more of the sports biopics than
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the musical biopics. So I'm intrigued, and call me a sucker. I'm kind of intrigued to see what Dwayne Johnson does. Why do I say the full name? It's just weird. I guess it's
No,
because
because
like
it's like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. It's just we're
yeah,
used to it.
right.
It's like
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
it's his tag
Like
thing.
because you can't just call him Dwayne, right?
No, I
Just
feel like it's the opposite of Madonna. Like
yeah,
he has built a thing where you can't say his name by himself. You say The
yeah, yeah.
Rock or you say Dwayne Johnson.
Because like if he's like, oh, but I guess, well, you know what? I mean, you don't just say Brad. Hey, did you see the new Brad movie? Brad Pitt.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
Brad
guess
Pitt, of course. We're talking about
okay,
Brad
it's
Pitt.
Dwayne Johnson. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. So you do say the full
But
name.
you could say
Anyways, it just
Angelina,
feels
or you
weird.
could no, but you could say Jolie, or you could say Pitt, but you wouldn't say
Or
Johnson. But
yeah,
Johnson's
yeah.
also
Well,
kind of generic.
true. DJ. Anyways, so yeah, those are that's gonna get me to go see it. I'm intrigued by it, and I like Emily Blunt, but I feel like she's just gonna be sort of like a non-factor in this.
I
Really,
know, which
just sort
makes
of
me
like
so
the
sad. Ah, she's so
and like,
good.
but like that's it. Doesn't seem like it's her story though, and that doesn't really totally bother me.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll see it in theaters. I'm curious. Do you get the SAG screeners? I'm
Yeah,
sure you'll
yeah.
get
I mean,
this.
yeah. I mean, well, it depends on nominations.
True, true.
But
That's
yeah, I
true.
mean, if it gets not if he is nominated for an acting
But no,
award,
but
then
don't you
I would get
get
a screener for it. Yeah.
don't they send screeners to get help get nominations, or do
So
they
that's
only
only
come
yeah,
out?
but so there's a certain segment of SAG-AFTRA that is randomly selected to be on the nomination committee. So I unfortunately was on the nomination committee in like 2021, I think it was. It was like literally maybe 2022, but it was, the pandemic was still raging. And
Hmm.
so going to, those ones, the cool things are you get invited to screeners that have talkbacks with a lot of the, the cast and key players. And so those are fun. And you get screeners for everything, which is great. For the SAG, for the awards though,
once they're
once
nominated, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Then in January, usually you get a whole bunch of screeners. Now they're all digital or virtual like
Yeah.
apps where you can go and watch them, but it's only the nominated ones. But if you're nominated for SAG-AFTRA has different things that aren't out there. So there's some that are TV, some are ensemble. So if it's an
Hmm.
ensemble cast, like there's no
Yeah.
best picture because it's acting.
Yes. Best
You
ensemble.
get,
Yeah.
there's certain ones for stunt and TV that are kind of
Hmm.
cool. So there are some unique qualities, but so if he gets nominated for acting, then
Hmm.
and I'm sure he will put tons of money into a campaign to get nominated. I mean, I don't know. This is a whole different tangent, but I sort of lost some faith in the results of last year's Oscars in it being choosing the best acting.
But that's all they do. They campaign.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The
It's now partially it's like how much money are you going to put into the
you
campaign?
you put. But the thing is, the money go. What do you think the money goes to? It doesn't go in the voters' pockets.
Bribing people.
No, it goes into, hey, there's an expensive billboard. Here's TV
Oh
spots.
no, no, it is.
Here's set
But
up
but that said, but
screenings.
it's interesting sometimes where the Oscars go different than the SAG-AFTRA awards when it comes to acting because yes, there is no direct to the members' pockets. I feel like when it comes to the Oscars, it's a little bit more. I mean I don't know the process when it comes to like who is officially a Oscars voting member and what do they get swag? What do they get? Or maybe it's just billboards
What you
right
think?
out
Oh,
front of their
like,
things. I don't
oh
know.
my God, I got a Nora branded shag bag. Oh, I'm gonna vote. Like that's you
No, but
go
they
to
might.
these.
But it's like,
But
but
the,
I
the
think
thing is, even these movie premieres, when they have premieres, there's swag there. It's like, hey, don't forget to
yeah,
get
it's
the a Nora
all
thong.
campaign. It's all to convince you.
But that's yeah.
I mean, it's the
Putting
name
it
of the
on a
game. It's the
premiere
name of
costs
the
money.
game. I'm not saying
Hmm.
it's not. I just think then
No,
that
but it's
takes
not
away
anything.
from the
It's
pure
not
art
anything
of
new
it.
though. It's not anything new.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely not. And it's to get people to also see it. I mean, yeah, there's so many aspects for the promotional side of things.
yeah.
Anyway, let's leave with a. You want to leave with a comment?
Oh
Leave in
yeah.
a
So
comment if
I
you
mean,
do.
off. Yes,
Yeah.
this is the okay. So the question for the comments: do you think Dwayne Johnson will get nominated for an Oscar or
For this
SAG
role,
for this role? I think so.
I think he will be pushing hard for it until like watch it. I was not convinced by the
Mhm.
trailer. I'm curious. Maybe I'll be surprised.
Should we put money on it?
No, because I'm sure he will put a lot of money into the campaign.
Put a friendly bet.
I don't. No, I don't bet on things that I'm not super confident.
People bet on this all the time. There's these sites now. You could bet on anything.
I know you can, and I don't.
Like
I
that,
don't do
that
that.
no, but literally anything. There's I think it's called Polymarket. I don't know. I've seen it pop up on Instagram. That whole Coldplay concert scandal with that CEO from some company.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Use
Who got caught
embrace
with like yeah.
his like HR person. So after that went down, like it popped up that like you can bet whether or not will this guy get divorced or things like that. It's like
I mean, the gamification of things is so absurd. I mean, this is what happens when gambling is just fully legal. Is you can bet everything, and then it's going to be like, hey, will you bet that this thing that then leads to racism or whatever like won't happen? Like we're gonna people are going to bet via money on things that will lead down extremely negative paths.
Okay, cool. Let's wrap it up.
Thanks for listening. And soon to be sponsored by Poly Market Prep. I don't even know what the name of it is. .com. If you enjoyed what you listened to, subscribe. If you didn't enjoy what you listened to, well, thanks for listening to this whole episode, and maybe subscribe anyway. Let us know your thoughts if you see this movie, what you think of any aspect. Love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
Later.